It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Now what exactly is swing? Swing is a lot like aesthetic. Its interpretations of it are varied from person to person. Benny Goodman, also known as the King of Swing, defined swing as the free speech of music. His contemporary, Tommy Dorsey, who was actually just Benny Goodman with a trombone, defined swing as sweet and hot at the same time, very much like my signature brand FrankJavCee brand ice cream sriracha mix. Louis Armstrong said it best on Bing Crosby's radio show when he said, "We used to call it syncopation, then called it ragtime, then the blues, then jazz. Now it's swing. Haha, white folks, y'all show is a mess." In technical terms, swing is a rhythm in which a beat is separated into a long short pattern, which sounds very much like this. Do dat, or like this. So this is what swing is all about. It just keeps getting faster. Swing music evolved from jazz music when America got super depressed and poor in the 1930s. This style of music also birthed the jitterbug, which is not a phone for old people, but a popular form of dance among the black community. One can even say swing culture mirrors that of the whip the nay-nay vine culture of today, and that the world is based on cycles, but whatever. Swing music began to decline in popularity during World War II because America was like, hey everyone go fight. And since the only weapons musicians were good at using made wiggly air, a lot of them didn't return home. But hey, we got rock and roll out of it, I guess. Another reason for swing's decline was the 1942 and 1948 musician strike, where industry musicians decided to go on strike and not record for not getting paid fair royalties. Swing lay dormant, living on old dusty records and niche clubs for the next 50 years. That wasn't until the swing revivals began taking place. During the 1990s, the swing revival began with such acts as Big Bad Voodoo Daddies and the Cherry Poppin' Daddies began releasing music inspired by that swing rhythm. What about the mommies? Films such as 1994's The Mask and Jon Favreau's 1996 classic Swingers became major hits, bringing swing vibes back into the mainstream. In fact, the Cherry Poppin' Daddies performed during the halftime at Super Bowl XXXIII, and right after the game, the first episode of Family Guy aired. Coincidence? I think not. During the 90s, hip-hop and house musicians began sampling old swing records, creating what we know now as swing house. Then, in the early 2000s, that sampling got electrified and turned into what we know as electro swing. Electro swing was made popular by musical acts such as the French band Caravan Palace with their vintage yet modern arrangements, and producers like Austrian-born Paravov Stellar. Electro swing hit superstardom when in 2010, a collaboration between Australian band Yolanda Be Cool and producer DCUP created the track We Speak No Americano, which sampled a 1956 Italian swing track, reaching #1 internationally. In this video tutorial, I will show you how to sample a swing song of your own and turn it into some electro swing. Now for this video tutorial, I will be skipping FL Studio because I'm lacking the inspiration. Instead, I will show you how to make electro swing using my video editor of choice, Sony Vegas. Step 1. Find yourself a swing song. Since YouTube is the medium I shall be projecting my art, YouTube is a great place to find source material. I also learned if you clicked a video with music in it and there isn't that weird Google Music ID at the bottom, you can literally rip the music and not fear for a copyright strike. Well, at the time I made this video, I don't know if in the future they're gonna do something else, but that's just the thing I found out that you could do. So I'm gonna rip an MP3 of Duke Ellington's famous piece. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do that, do that, do that, do that. Now that we have an MP4, I'm gonna place it in my video editor like this. Step 2. Set up your timeline for music. I tend to think of video editing a lot like music. It's all about rhythm and flow. First, go to Video Properties, then select Ruler. This is where we will measure the time of our video. Then select Measure and Beats. Since house is roughly 120 beats per minute, our tempo is default. Now we can see in our timeline everything is ruled out in music beats. Step 3. This is the fun part, finding a sample to loop. Once you find a loop that can loop perfectly, cut yourself a video still. Next, right-click the audio and go to Properties. Since we are time manipulation wizards from the future, all you have to do is warp the audio. To do this, under Time Stretch and Pitch Shift, select Elastique, which is French for aesthetique. Now stretch the loop into a 4-beat section and throw in an EDM thump kick to it. And now you have an electro house video. Step 4. Now that we have a quick electro swing video, it's time to add some EDM effects to make it super modern. To do this, I found some GIFs from the internet that are extra flashy and use the chroma key over the old footage and mix them together. So I hope you enjoy.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing. That don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm every little thing you got. Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing. That don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm every little thing you got.
And that is how I make electro swing house. If you're curious to hear some more music, just YouTube some swing house playlist. This music really comes together because it's basically old-timey dance music mixed with new-timey dance music. If you want to support my channel, check out my Bandcamp for some of my music. You can get it for free or for money. So thanks for watching and suggest me some new music if you want me to. Love you guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys in my demographic. It's 90% dicks, 10% other. So suggest me music that you want me to cover. Show me things on my social medias. I love you guys so much. Let me rub my mustache against the microphone.